Alright, we are back. And hey, dude, some jackass blew up some machines. We might need to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
you let me work on the roof. You trusted me that I was right on my counting of how far over I was. Anyways, fixed electrical power bar, not rendering on electric drills. Well, electric tools. I was wondering about that. I thought there was supposed to be 2 bars down there. You can see on my toolbar that that's now fixed. We can see both bars. Let's see, what else do we got here? Fixed info text in the EBF and like. I remember what that was. I'll keep an eye out and see what it looks like now when we run it. Temp fix to make mouse tweak scrolling work in GT GUIs. Other mouse tweaks features, though, still don't work. GT5R guide had some changes thanks to Chubby. Added new versions of turbine rotors and removed old versions of turbine rotors, except for small ones. Will remove the old small ones next alpha, and we will look into that more here in just a minute. That is our major change this time. Changed language of hematite dust to say iron oxide 3. Added phosphor and indium doped wafers and buells. Not yet craftable though. Made native iron macerate and hammer into crushed hematite when no native iron config is enabled. Okay, good. So let's look at rotors. This was one of me and Trinz's minor pet peeves of the GT5 version is the fact that all of these rotors are just basically they're tools, basically, is all they are. And so he is adding different ones. Where are they?
Ones that say, ones on the GT5 are the old ones, they're GT shared and new ones. So the ones that you got up first.
Okay, so we have iron, manganese, nickel, bismuth bronze, black bronze, black steel, blue steel, bronze, cobalt brass, Damascus. Why is there an HSSE in here? That's tungsten based.
Turbines.
Yeah, but they're tungsten based. That makes no sense. Invar, Canthal, chromium, red steel, steel, stainless steel, trinitanium, trinitanium alloy, vanadium steel, wrought iron, and then these are all. You didn't add the new materials yet?
No, I was trying to figure out what the heap, what to remove.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she needs that either.
Oops. Well, definitely the HSSs need to come out, and I would give stats close to those for the new stuff that you're going to be adding. The regular iron ones would rust. That makes no sense. Steel having carbon in it, still gonna rust, but it's gonna be less than just regular iron. And I don't understand. I never understood. And again, I understand it for a regular tool, sort of, kind of. I don't know that I kind of course, dog. You've been here for 3 seconds and already you're fucking on my screen. Where is the regular nickel one? There it is. I thought they were. Can't see the durability. See the efficiency, but not the total
durability. They're the same as what the tools have.
Yeah, which is where I see, because this is the tool thing. It has the durability on it, and that's important to have for these, because if you look at the
currently, like I'll add the durability to the passwords. But currently, if you look at the new ones, you can see HS and whatever it's called.
What about it? I don't see any durability on those.
The QSD below there.
Oh, okay. I see it down there now. Well, if you look at the Invar's 256, which is the same as regular iron, and if you look at the nickel, it is 64. Nickel, I have no idea why Greg thinks nickel is so terrible in durability. It, as far as I know, is not that horrible of a. It's really close to iron on the periodic table, so it should be roughly the same durability. It should be roughly the same denseness. It doesn't have as all of the same properties of iron, sure, but it should still be relatively similar. And seeing as how nickel doesn't rust, I believe it should actually have a better durability than what iron does, not what, a fourth, a fifth of what it is. So we need to adjust these because they don't need to have the tool durability. We need to come up with proper durabilities, get these out of the tool class and into their own class. Now, did you do did you change over anything with the small ones? Okay, so they're still using bronze, because I want to rework these two, and we discussed that. So this is a work in progress. What was the other thing? Oh, phosphor and indium dope wafers. Those are going to take the place of glowstone and naquita doped wafers, but they're going to have, rather than it being, for the naquita ones at least, it's going to be less about the rarity of the material and more about the process of making them, which we've been looking into how to dope them and trying to understand this shit. Alright, so we have our silicon buells done. We need to get the saw hooked up.
It's probably about the precision chipper. I'm thinking I'm probably going to want to add another food saw, which means moving these. And just wondering where I should put them.
You're thinking of what?
Precision chipper probably need to add another food saw, so I was wondering where I should move the food saws, like around the item slot or something.
Oh, yeah. So you're going to do the doping in the crystallization then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because that one we looked at talked about doping the wafers themselves rather than the buell. So I wasn't sure where you were planning on doing doping it. Yeah, I would say probably just put like either, it already looks like these two down here are kind of wedged in there a bit. So maybe put three of them around the item one. Whichever side you want, whether you want to move the item one over and put the fluids on this side. And I would say keep these two, which I don't know if you have control over what goes where. But I would say keep the one for the gas and the silicon together, and the doping agent put up next to the item. But I'm assuming it just first thing in goes to the first tank.
There is a way to control, but it's kind of just a little complicated.
Oh, okay. So, said some jackass blew this shit up yesterday. Yesterday, meaning like last week. And I want to move our MV stuff. I may leave these here for right now. I want to put in an MV line over here. but you didn't get that vein in, did you?
No, wait, I was gonna ask you about where I should put them, like stones. I wasn't sure about that.
You mean level? Like how deep? It should be.
Hey, what stone layers? What stone layers you're thinking?
Oh, it's in pink. It's in that pink shit.
Okay, quartzite.
It may even be. Give me a second. Let me look up that vein. I believe it may be one of the interactive, where it's two different things. Let me look this up real quick. GT6 launch. Hope my computer doesn't kill me. I did just recently restart it, so it should be a little bit less pissy. I've been having things, I swear, get stuck in my memory. Which is terrible because, you know, nothing gets stuck in my memory, but my fucking computer's does. Alright, so while that's loading up, we want to make some HV batteries. And we need an assembler with plastic. And we need plastic for, like, all the things. So our big thing today is going to be, we need to get plastic. So, plastic, chemical reactor, we need ethylene. We do not have wood gas right now, so we can't use that. So we need to do the sulfuric acid and ethanol thing. So he needs to get us an MV chemical reactor. To do this recipe in, we're going to need we need to get the ethanol, which is this one, which we need a distillery for that, which is LV, because we don't have the wood vinegar thing. We're going from biomass 80 to 20. So we need on here with his extruder, conveyor, and laser engravers that he needs to get. Let's add MV chem reactor. LV distillery. We're also going to need an LV distillery for the oxygen and ethylene. We could do the air and ethylene, but we have a lot more oxygen. So we might as well do that one. Well, this is 144. Oh, this one takes way longer. Okay. So you make a little bit more this way, but this is quicker. Okay. I was wondering what was up with that. Alright, so that's the wrong one. Alright, so then we're going to need mixer, we can go ahead and use the mixer we already have. And then we need a macerator for that, and I want an MV macerator anyways. So we're going to put on here an MV macerator, and we have the mixers. So, alright, GT6 has loaded. Get into my single player world here and get over to desktop view. And this is 1710, so we're going to be here a minute. There we go. Are we here now? We're here now. Okay, so lepidolite. We need that world generator. So it is Sylvite, Colton. That's what's in with it, is Colton. So it's gonna, it has rock salt in it. Oh, wait a minute, that's not. There we go. We don't have dolomite. Quartzite and dolomite. We don't have dolomite. Tune. I know that there's. That's why I hate this thing. This thing lies. It says stone bottom dolomite, quartzite, stone, and lepidolite. Stone, quartzite, lepidolite. This is complete and utter fucking stupid. Because these are for biomes that we do not, or places we don't have. And I'm trying to think if I've even found one of these in this world, and I don't think I have. Fluoride, sulfur, rock salt, spherulite, olivine, niter, galena, manganese, cobalt, carbonate, chromite, uraninite, bauxite, alunite. It's not in that one, is it? Chromagnorite, monkey quartz, stibnite, tin, gold, copper, black seed. No bullshit. Coal and salt. I'm assuming that's regular salt vein. Oxide. I have a lot of waypoints in this world. This is going to take a minute. Halite. Rutile, pyrolusite. Sand. There's a Colton right there. But I think that's the other Colton. Where in the hell is that even at? That is way the fuck over there. I have a drill on me. I have a drill on me. Let's go take a look and see. But I believe this is the other Colton vein. I would have named it leptolite if it was a leptolite vein, I believe. This is almost on spawn. But I'm pretty sure it is supposed to be like that quartzite dolomite thing. Just, you know, we don't have fucking dolomite. And neither did GT6. That's why it has no biome in it.
Talking about that. I think about TFC, because that's the only one I know that has dolomite.
Might be.
GT6.
Trying to think if there was another one that added dolomite. It might be that, no, because that's using that origin. Okay, so we're going right over there. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that is referring to be honest. But I know on the old server, and it may just be a thing where Greg has removed it in this newer one. I don't know why he would have. Because that would mean that there's no leptolite and spodumene natively spawning. But I know on the server we had it. Because I'm pretty sure that's where I had seen the one I was telling you about. Alright, let's dig down here and see what we can find. It's Jasper. There's Colton. But that's a small. Okay, there's Columbite. So yeah, I believe this is the other one because this has the Colton and Columbite in it together in red granite. Yep, this is not the one we're looking for. Damn it. But I don't think we have a whole lot spawning in. Like, the only thing I can think of that spawns in diorite is the cobalt nickel vein. Let me look up spodumene real quick. See if it shows anything different for it. It shows that vein again, which is a two in between lands, Mars and that. which is weird because it says sylvite, which is rock salt, but it doesn't say salt, because this is the old GT5 vein. And this one, except it has coltan instead of in place of the salt. So it still has rock salt, but it doesn't have regular salt. It has coltan in its place. But this is the vein. And this is showing, yeah, see, this is showing spodumene is the exact same thing. But it's not showing that it spawns with lepidolite. And I guarantee you this one does, if I had a clue where in the fuck it's supposed to spawn. And I don't know that you did the coltan thing. Coltan and columbite, I've never seen it in your mod, but basically coltan is shredder, this tantalum and niobium. That is what coltan is. So coltan, you get tantalite and columbite out of it. Columbite is where the niobium comes from, and it also gives manganese. It's a niobium oxide, manganese oxide. And so you get niobium pentoxide and pyrolusite out of columbite. And this is how you get, in GT6 at least, your tantalite and your columbite is from the coltan. So it is a kind of nice ore to add if you want to add those two. It was added by HTM or whatever that mod is that most GT6 players use now. It's some nuclear thing. It's like the only other mod still active in 1.7.10. So I think that's why everybody uses it that still plays GT6. I've never touched it.
I mean, that mod with like the nukes and the weapons.
I don't know what all it has. It's some kind of nuclear material from HBN's nuclear tech mod. That is what added it. Because we never had it before Greg started doing compat with that mod. Once he started doing compat with that mod, then he changed over how you get tantalite and niobium, or tantalum and niobium, and made it a much harder process to get. And I really like it. It is a fun process. If you wanted to add it into GT5R, I'd be all for it. Because neither one of those are something you need early on. It makes more sense in GT6 because you need tantalum and niobium for crucible progression, where we really don't need it for progression in GT5R. But if you look, you centrifuge the coltan into tantalite and columbite. And the columbite is the first one you have to deal with in GT6 because niobium comes before tantalum in the crucible progression. columbite, you electrolyze it, which gives you the niobium pentoxide and the pyrolusite. Pyrolusite is still pretty much the same, except in here you use hydrochloric acid and pyrolusite, and that gives you manganese chloride, water, and chlorine. And then you have to take the manganese chloride and electrolyze that to get your manganese and your chlorine. So pyrolusite is a little bit different in GT6 because you can't just throw it into an electrolyzer. You need to make hydrochloric acid first. And you have to have a mixer. But it's a low-level mixer recipe. And then the manganese chloride and electrolyzer is 64, where it is LV in GT5R for the pyrolusite. But this would also mean that we couldn't use pyrolusite to get oxygen because you don't get the oxygen out of it. The oxygen goes into the water. So you're just getting straight chlorine out of this thing. So that we would have to think about if we wanted to do that. Or we could do it as a secondary way of processing pyrolusite if you wanted to add this. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is the niobium pentoxide. So that has to be bathed in molten aluminum. And that gives you your niobium dust, which you're using the aluminum to pull the oxygen off of the niobium, so it makes molten alumina. So then you have to use your molten aluminum. In here you pour it, which we would have to use a solidifier to make it into ingots, which is where putting ingots into the electrolyzer instead of dust comes in. Now, he also has the sapphire buells, which are used for crystal circuits. So you could also use it for that as well. But you would just pour this as an ingot, and then if you didn't have the ability to put the ingot in the electrolyzer, you would have to macerate it back to dust. But then the tantalite is even crazier. The tantalite you electrolyze into tantalum pentoxide and pyrolusite. The tantalum pentoxide has to go into a mixer with potassium fluoride and hydrogen fluoride, which gives you potassium heptafluorotantalate and water. And then this stuff has to go in a bath with molten sodium. And that gives you a tantalum crystal, not dust, along with sodium fluoride and potassium fluoride. And if I remember it, and it has to be a molten sodium. So you have to melt down like salt, basically. But it has to be the actual clean sodium. But that means you also then need to process the sodium. So you need to electrolyze that to get the sodium and the fluorine, which you then need to process back into hydrogen fluoride. And you also have to make the potassium fluoride because you need like 8 of them and you only get 4 out. You have to build a great big processing line to do this. I'll show it to you when I get back home, because I'm still trying to get home. Because
I was looking in the code, it seems like the information in JI is correct. NEI is correct. It does spawn between quartzite and dolomite.
Which is weird because I have seen it. So I'm wondering if he changed it. And I still don't know.
The current code, I'm trying to see what dolomite is.
Unless he has dolomite as some other kind of stone. Because that's still confusing. But we can still add a version of that. Through here. Okay. So, this is my tantalum. So, tantalum pentoxide goes up there. It goes into the mixer. It goes into the bath. And then that comes around to this side, smelts the sodium back down, and electrolyzes there. So, but that also means that I have to have this for dealing with the fluorine and hydrogen to make hydrogen fluoride. And then I also, somewhere around here, am making the potassium fluoride. I don't remember where exactly, because there's just acid shit strung everywhere. I made a whole room just for all of my acid production and processing stuff.
Probably very sure dolomite doesn't exist in some form. Like, not sure if it's a stone, but it might be like a dust block or something.
It shows that there's blocks of dolomite. It says block of dolomite ore. And there's raw dolomite ore. So there is, but it doesn't spawn.
Weird.
And it just gives us calcite nugget when you smelt it. It centrifuges to calcite and magnesium carbonate is what it centrifuges into. So he actually has it as an ore. So that means that that vein spawns in quartzite. It wasn't in a mix level. And see, the one I'm thinking of would have been before he did the Colton change. Because it was tantalum, it was tantalite that was in there with it. It was tantalite, spodumene, and lepidolite spawning together. That's what it was. And it was in quartzite vein. Or quartzite rock. Because I can remember on the server, I had found it because I was mining out limestone. That's why I thought that it might be a rock layer thing. Because I had found it at the bottom of the quartzite rock layer right at the limestone, which I was mining for galena and lead. So if you don't add the Colton stuff, just put tantalite in there. And then if you do, change it to the Colton stuff. Alright, so let me get back over to what we're actually supposed to be doing today. Because I really want to get this plastic done. Because I want to get an HV battery box done. But that means we got to get the plastic done. Oh, and I guess I need to add 3 new LV chem reactors on this list too. For the 3 I blew up. Because we need to redo that. Which I need to get this down to there. Try 9, see if that's enough. Are you trying to finish the roof? Is that what you're working on?
We're on the road, currently almost done.
Okay. Now, this... Send that down here. And I think right now we're going to go down this way. Probably going to change this when we change this around, but for right now this will work. And that's definitely not enough pipes. I need 2 more.
It is done.
Okay, you want to... We need the lasers first. Awesome. You know your clipboard does not have the back arrows on it when it's on the wall. That's very annoying. Also, you can't use enter to go to the next line down, which is also very annoying. We should fix that. Either tab or enter, I don't care which, but one of the two needs to take you to the next line so you don't have to stop typing to click on the next line you want to type to. Alright, now I'm going to have to stop the sulfur dioxide from going upstairs. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to have more sulfuric acid than what we have room. Now, why is this not out? It is. Okay. So that's running making a sulfuric acid. So that can get down there and do what it needs to do. There's a little bit of hydrogen fluoride left in there. It looks like 1 millibucket, so I'm not even going to worry about that. 1 millibucket. I'll just take that out of there. Okay, that one's empty. So we can go ahead and get rid of that one. These two are empty, so we can go ahead and pull those two out for now. And this just has silicon dioxide in it. But we have plenty in here we can deal with for now. What are you looking for?
Need some charcoal dust or carbon dust, coal dust.
I'm making charcoal dust right now. It's in the box. I'm gonna go. I think I am. Do I have an axe? Do not have an axe. Is one in my bag? Holy crap, my bag is full of shit. Why is my bag full of shit? Because when is my bag not full of shit? I'll just throw this shit into the, turned into biomass when we get to that point. Get rid of that crap. Oh, by the way, I want to look at something in here. I don't know if you have the same. Yeah, okay. You must have the updated thing. The version of forestry we have in Race to Fusion must be out of date. It's like 04, and this is probably the 10 that I just downloaded. They only had mushrooms in the fermenter to be able to use fruit juice with to make biomass, which was fucking stupid. This has everything fixed in this version, so Junior will be happy. So he made a mushroom farm just to be able to make biomass and Race Fusion this week. I'm still not 100% sure why he did it when I told him it was dumb that it was that way. But he done went and did it. Alright, I'm gonna make me a new axe.
Moo 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 moo. Moo 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 moo.
Hey, XCR. I'd ask him about that vein, but this motherfucker doesn't mind shit, so he wouldn't know anything about it. I'm not a creeper, I'm just creepy. There's a difference. Subtle, but a difference. Not as much as Junior does. He explodes more than I do. I'm trying to tame a little in my old age. That just makes him a baby creeper. No, it doesn't refute your point. You are kind of right there. I do tend to explode at times. But I don't look like a green penis. A dickhead I may be, but I don't look like a green penis. Eggplant. Has a purple penis.
Isn't that even worse?
That's just an internet dick. That's all an eggplant is. I don't even believe they're real. I think it was made up for the internet. Color isn't really important. Doing on power, we're doing good on power. Alright, well, since you don't have somebody that can clean out the bag, I'm using it anyways. Since you didn't add that vein, I'm gonna throw some of this shit in here, and I'm gonna go get more clay. Because we are going to need lithium. So you're in charge of the factory. So don't let us run out of power.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to go looking for it because I want you to add this vein and I need to be able to go find it. But oh, that one that GregTech was talking about the other day? Okay. Still not 100% sure it's going to be something I would enjoy. I think it's something you're going to enjoy a whole lot more than I will. By the way, if you're really bored, there's that island thing that me and Crazy streamed this morning in there. Island Market Simulator, but I don't know if that's down your line of bullshit, wanting to run around an island running a market. I don't know if that, you know, scratches the right itch for you. It is kind of fun doing with a couple people, but really gotta get crazy to, you know, be a little more observant. I still can't believe I said, hey, come get this asshole. It's stealing our shit. And she goes looking out the back door towards the pantry. Why in the hell would he be running to the pantry? She's like, well, I didn't know where you went. Well, I went where the guy is. And again, why would he be at the pantry? There's some clay. Not a lot, but some. Since people are comparing it to X4, I've never even tried that X4 thing, so I have no idea if I'd like it. I still don't get where GregTech compared it to Kerbal, though. I did not see anything in that about launching rockets. And if you're not launching rockets, how the hell can it be like Kerbal? Hey, some asshole left the boat over here. I wonder what asshole that would be. You've seen me play it, but I think it's outside your interest. Ah, okay. Hey, we have a lead vein right there. I might load it up a little bit and give it at least a once over look. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, but if you like, the hell do they call that? Fighting, turn-based fighting. Junior got a interesting one that I suggested him get, which is which will kick you right in your ass, by the way. It's called Slay the Spire. There's Slay the Spire 2, but he only got number 1. And it's just pure turn-based fighting. There's no other real, you know, I know some games that have turn-based fighting in it, but then they have like a story that you go through and shit. This is, you know, just turn-based fighting. There's some events and stuff that you can run into as well, but it's mostly just fighting monsters. You got some chick that's good with poison. You got some chick that's like poison based. Some guy that hits like a Mack truck. With a little bit of base regen. Somebody called the Deficit, which summons orbs of like lightning and frost and shit like that for your elemental kicks. And then there's a 4th character, which I haven't even unlocked yet. And I don't remember what his gimmick is. And as much as I hate it, because Junior says it all the fucking time and it annoys me, it's turn-based on cards, because I think it was a board game first. I know there's a board game version of 1 and 2, but I think it was adapted to a video game from the board game, but I'm not positive. But seeing how it uses cards, that's kind of what I expect, but I could be wrong. Okay. Junior would probably like that more than I do. I like the turn-based fighting a little more now. I used to hate turn-based fighting, but now that I'm getting older, I enjoy it more. When I was younger, I wanted the actual, you know, real-time shit. But now that I'm getting older, this gives me more strategy, trying to figure things out. Problem is, I'm terrible at strategy. My biggest issue with it is the fact that it's card-based. And I am learning. Yes, I did play that steampunk thing, and I enjoyed the shit out of that too. That was kind of the one that got me more interested in the turn-based stuff, was playing that Steam one. Because it's interesting trying to figure out how you're going to do the things. But in this one is way different. The difficulty ramps up like really quickly, and you really have to manage your cards way better than what I'm able to do. And they don't give you a whole lot of options for getting rid of cards. You don't have a lot of opportunity to get rid of cards. And so you really have to, when you have the chance to get a new one, you really got to decide, do I need this in my deck, or is it going to just clog shit up and screw me over? And I've learned with playing board games with Tamara that I am terrible when you give me cards. Everything looks good. I hate card turns. Well, if you hate card turns, then you would definitely hate that game, because it's 3 energy. Each card has a cost. Most are 1, some are 2, some can even be 3. But then you have like combo type of shit where this card can do something that activates something else, and it's all kinds of craziness. But it, you know, the difficulty ramps up really quickly, and you've got to kind of build your deck properly, or else you're just gonna end up with hands of shit that you can't do anything with. And like I was saying, I'm terrible at saying no when they want to give me a new card. It's like, ooh, this looks good, but, you know, it may look good, but is it going to work with what you already have? And I also have not learned yet exactly how in the hell you decide what you want to do. Because to me, it's a whole lot of luck required to do this shit. Because you really have to get the cards that work with what you're trying to do. And if you don't get the cards that work with what you're trying to do, well, then you're just screwed. Which is how I end up most of the time playing that game. I knew that creeper was going to end up showing up eventually. Took him fucking long enough.
But the intention with card games is to learn to work with what you have, I guess.
I can typically do that, but I would almost say that this game is like the card game version of, I think the server's flagged out, of, what is that fucking game that people, there we go, now the server fixed itself. That really hard fighting game that like kicks your ass every fucking second of the, that you're playing it. Something Souls, Dark Souls. I swear it's like the card game version of Dark Souls, where until you learn the game well enough, you're just getting your ass handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because this game has ascensions. It's a 3-act game. Apparently they've added a 4th, but I don't know if it's in, again, the video game, because I know I know more about the card game version of it than I do the computer version of it. And I'm not 100% sure that the 4th act ever got put into the video game, but it's a 3-act game, and there's a boss at the end of each act. And getting to and beating the first boss isn't that difficult. But when you get to Act 2, it just like doubles down on kicking you in the ass. And I have gotten to the final boss of Act 2, I think, twice so far. And you really have to have a well-tuned deck to be able to beat this, to get there. Because you only get like 5 block, and block typically doesn't share between turns, because that's, how that normally works. There's things that you can do to get some of it or all of it to carry over, but typically whatever block you use that turn doesn't stay with you. And I think that was one of the biggest things when I did get to the second one, was that I had block that was persistent, or some of it was persistent. But that doesn't always matter, because like they'll hit you for like 20 and 30 at a time, and you only have like 80 health. And if they hit you for 20 and 80 at a time, and you only get like 5 block with 3 cards, that's only 15. So you're going to end up taking 15 damage every turn and not be able to do any attacking. So you have to manage when you attack and when you block, or you need something that, helps you do the block with attacking. And I love the strategy of it. I'm just terrible at managing it. And then I get, impatient and just start throwing shit and screwing up. One of my favorite things, though, is there is a card in that game. I think it's called Agony. That is 0 cost. So you can always play it. And every time you play it, you get another version of it in your deck. So if you could find a way to get just a couple of those cards, you could do some ass-kicking shit. Because you could just keep duplicating that card and just spamming tons of them. They don't do a lot of damage. But if you have a lot of them, you can just keep throwing them. So I love that card. I do not think this is going to be anywhere near enough yet. But we'll see. You have it ignored on your Steam. You have what ignored on your Steam? I missed what he was talking about at the time. Oh. Yeah, it's very different than that Steam game, even though it's kind of similar. With it being turn-based and you having to choose what you can do, it's very different in the feel. Because in that Steam one, you really had to kind of mess up to fuck up and lose a fight. Or you could get, unlucky and bring the wrong people, and that would get your ass kicked. But you didn't get your ass kicked very much. There was a few missions that I had that really kicked my butt a couple times. But most of them are pretty straightforward. Where this game, you have a couple in the beginning that, depending on how you do it, just a regular fight, first couple you do, you're going to be losing health. And since most of the characters don't regenerate anything after the fight, the one guy only regenerates a little bit. It's like 6 health. You get your butt kicked, you're in trouble. And I think that's the biggest thing with that game, is just managing your health is such a pain in the ass. Because if you generated after the fight, it would be a whole different story. Or even if you, when you went and rested, if you fully regenerated, it would be a different story. But you don't even fully regenerate when you go rest. And resting is limited, because you got to get to the right spot on the map to rest. So, it is very butt-kicking game. Okay, I lost my vote again. And I also have a video coming out on this channel of a game that is also card based, but it is, and it has the same sort of. it is a weird game, but it's the only game that I've found that I can think of that really gives me the Minecraft, the original, just starting out in the world Minecraft feel of not knowing what in the hell you're doing. You know, think Minecraft with no NEI, where you have no idea how to craft anything. That's kind of what this game does to you. The sad thing about it is you learn as you play, not just in that you'll remember, but the game remembers. And from what I can tell, there's no way of resetting it. You can start over, but when you start over, you still know everything you knew from the last time you played. And so it kind of loses that after the first few. But it's really kind of, that's why I made the video about it, because it's a completely different video than what I normally do. Because I don't teach you anything about the game. I don't show any of the recipes. I just kind of give you the feel of the game as much as I can, and a bit of an overlook of what some of the things are that you can eventually get, but not exactly how to get them. Hoping that people will get the feel that I got from it and try it out. It's called Stacklands, and it's really interesting. You start out naked and afraid, and you've got to eat the first day, and you've got to figure out where you're getting that food, albeit card-based, but you still have to figure out how you're going to feed yourself that first day. And if you can't figure out how you're eating, you a dead motherfucker. Alright, I'm on my way home with my pockets full of clay.
Hello, motherfucker.
Not crazy. Did you get y'all husband all shot up? Did you remember to get your keys off of him? Oh, okay. Did your who the fuck ever get to where they needed to go today? Okay, good. You don't get the hell in here and I think servers lagged out again. Holy crap, what is wrong with this server today? What did you do, Trends? It is having moments. Lots of them. It's like the third big leg spike we've had today.
We're dropping frames too. Or maybe yours is just your client lag.
Am I dropping them on Twitch?
On YouTube.
Oh yeah, I know I am on YouTube. YouTube does this all the fucking time. And I think it's because NVIDIA updated it again. And I haven't updated it yet. And I'm using the NVIDIA codecs thing. And sadly, I can't change it. You can't change what it's, which one it's using. Once you start streaming, whatever encoder it's using, it's stuck with that until I restart. But it's weird because I'm using the same encoder for Twitch and YouTube. And YouTube's the only one that drops. Twitch stays fine all the way through. I still swear it's an issue with fucking YouTube. Again? Holy crap, woman, would you do something about your stress levels and your inability to manage it and your fucking temper? This is what I mean about yesterday when you said today, I'm not in the mood today to deal with your bullshit. You're never in the mood to deal with bullshit. You're always pissed the fuck off. Want to go beat a bitch's head in. You always want to beat somebody's head in. You're violent like that. But is beating a bitch's head in going to help? Or is it just going to cause more problems? And typically the answer is it's going to cause more problems. I have no idea who that is. I know who the first one is. I have no idea who the second one is. Ah, okay. I'll pick a name, woman, so I know who the hell you're talking about. And, okay, Now I gotta ask a stupid question. Y'all know the bitch is out of her damn mind right now. So why in the fuck is she allowed around any kid right now? Because to me, that's the adult's problem. The bitch done out her motherfucking mind. You should not be allowing her around fucking kids. Yeah, but again, I put that on whoever's job it was to take care of the kid. Why in the fuck is she around the kid? You know the bitch is fucking nuts. Why the fuck are you not running? Okay, I am completely confused now. Which I typically am when I'm talking to you, because especially when you're pissed off, you don't make any fucking sense. How exactly was she mean to the kid? If he showed her something that she should... How the hell was the kid affected? You're not making sense. She was on a video call with her dad to show her dad something. And the bitch was there with her dad? Or on the call also? And if it's his kid, why did he just tell the bitch to shut the fuck up? Bitch, shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Easy. Oh. The fuck? Crazy ass motherfuckers. I don't know how in the hell you get this many fucking crazy ass people. Is there something in the fucking water in Oklahoma that makes you all out of your fucking mind? Y'all need to have your water tested or something. Okay, this will hold 121, where this only holds 8. So that will hold about a quarter more. I'm gonna let it run a bit.
If it was next to Alabama, you could play in that state, but it's not, so.
No, they're just inbred. That's a whole different issue. They just can't keep their dicks out of their sister. It's not the same issue. So it's going down by 3.
Let me compare what machines do you want me to make first?
Well, if you get the lasers made, I can...
Only problem lasers, it's gonna take a lot of good circuits.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of MV stuff I need, which is also going to take circuits. Can you... Let's look at circuits again. So, making the good circuit in the circuit assembler, you're going to need 3 basic circuits to get that made.
And I need 5 good circuits per laser engraver. That's 15 basic circuits per laser engraver.
Yeah, but if you're making MV chemical reactor, you're only going to need 2 for that. So you could make that, and I could start making the plastic. But the thing is, if you buckle down and make one of those lasers, knock one of them out quickly, then the basic circuits you need, we can make 4 of them. No, we can't do that recipe. We have to do this recipe. So we could do 1 basic circuit with just an integrated logic circuit. So we just need a laser engraver that does red. And then we can make 4 wafers out of one of the... no, it's 1-to-1 because that's the glowstone. We have to do this one. Yeah, we have to do the regular. So it's 1 integrated logic circuit wafer per regular wafer. We already have the saw, so it would make making the basics a lot fucking easier that you then need to make the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we get the plastic, then we can start making the transistors, and then you don't need to make the because we need the plastic to make these. And that's going to be from another wafer, tin wire. Yeah, those are going to be a lot easier to make. Capacitors, we can make those as well. So then you'll be able to make good circuits this way without having to make basic circuits to make them. So I would say your best bet would be to make 1 laser engraver now, just so we can get this part done, so it's easier to make the good circuits. unless you really want to make, it's basically how many of those good circuits do you want to have to make the hard way? Do you want to make the 5 that you just said you're going to have to make? Or do you want to make 7? Because you're going to have to do, if you just go with making 2, you still have to make those 5 to make the laser. Making the laser is the only way, is the first step of getting these made easier for you.
As long as I don't have to make 2 lasers, that way that's
yeah,
easier.
right now just do the 1 laser. You need 3 good circuits for that, and then you need 2 for the emitter. Yeah, if you just make that 1 laser, we can get that and the cutter hooked up, which I'll go ahead and hook up right here. I'll just put a annealed copper right here, put the saw on one side, laser on the other side, and then we can get that done. So you can at least get the basics made easier, and then that'll make making the good ones easier. Hey, we had the other traveling merchant show up, the supplementaries guy. The red merchant's here. And he's dead too. Now, crazy, one thing. Remember what you said to me earlier about I think it was you, I swear it was you, that my old man raised me to be more thick-skinned. If I remember correctly, Tara's not a child anymore. She's like 13-ish. I don't remember. She's becoming a teenager. It is time for her to learn to be able to put up with that kind of shit, so she doesn't end up being an adult that can't put up with that kind of shit. She didn't physically hurt her. She was on the phone at the most. So she might have said something that wasn't very nice, but she didn't hurt her. So you chalk it up as a learning experience for her, and use it as a tool to teach her because you said this bitch ain't acting anything like what she normally does. So use it to teach her about fucking how People can lose their fucking minds. Yes, barely a teen, and I don't care that. I don't. No. See, no. You can be mad at her, but don't baby the girl to protect her from things that she's going to have to be able to deal with. You can be mad at her for what she did. That's perfectly fine. But if you coddle them and you keep them wrapped in saran wrap while they are teenagers, then they're going to become whiny, bitchy, not able to deal with life adults. They have to be able to learn to deal with this shit. Anything that happens can be used as a teaching tool. You just need to know how to teach it, and you have to be able to control your anger enough to do the teaching. You love this girl, you want the best for her, so teach her to deal with this shit, not protect her from it. You gotta learn at some point. As crazy as it may sound, you have to learn at some point to control it. Why do you think I constantly say, Junior's yelling again? Because I'm trying to get him to recognize how often he does so he can learn to stop fucking yelling and to deal with his fucking anger. Things change. We don't have to be the same assholes we always are. I told you the other day, you keep saying that this is triggering this and this is triggering that. Get rid of some fucking triggers. Stop letting things trigger you. Lose the triggers. Yes, but the lesson would be taught better the fresher it is in her mind. Not a day later after you relax yourself. You need to find your center. You want to keep talking in these fucking buzzwords of bullshit, I'll throw one at you. Just like when Junior was a kid. I didn't want to whoop his ass when I was angry because I didn't want it to be about my anger. I wanted it to be about his learning about what he did. I didn't want him feeling that I was beating his ass because I was angry. So I would send him off to his room until I could get myself able to deal with it. Which was 5 minutes. 15 minutes. Not an hour, not the next day. Alright, I think I am done with this sulfuric acid. I think I've got... I'm never going to be able to get this out of here, because it's using 3 at a time. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get... yeah, I can. I can do it this way. You're also not helping yourself. Fucking stressing. Stress is not good on your body. Stop letting other people stress you so much. Is there anything you need help with? Anything you need me to make? Is there anything you need me to make?
Well, for the laser engraver now, I'm almost done with that.
Okay. Oops, that was the wrong thing.
Alright, here you go.
Give me just a second. Where you at? There you are. Alright, so we have stack this. Get that cooked up. I have the laser engraver and the cutter. So we'll just put the cutter right here. Laser engraver over here. And we're making basic circuits. We're doing this recipe, so we need the integrated logic. So we need, you still didn't fix that tag. So we need the red lens.
Which one
hold on. That one. Empty tag. It's some kind of red thing.
Does it tell you the recipe ID in the output? Like, or the output tell me what the recipe ID is?
Apparently it's jade.
I think you know what's going on. It's like I haven't. What would have happened if I confused jade with jasper?
Well, wait a minute.
I don't have jasper, so.
Jade is green. Why would it be in there anyways?
It's J, like, I was confusing it with jasper. I was thinking.
Oh. Okay. Gotcha.
I don't have jasper, so I'm just going to remove that one.
Okay. So I need to make a ruby plate. So I need the MV cutter to do that. So I need to get water up here.
But you know what we can finally do?
What's that?
Get rid of this one.
Hmm?
Get rid of the steam cutter one. So I have to get steam to finish the recipe first.
Yes, but I don't want you cutting wood in this cutter. Remember the whole argument that you shouldn't be cutting wood in the same fucking cutter that you're cutting your circuits?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to keep this for saw cutting or for wood cutting at the moment till we get an LV version. Okay, I need to get water. Do we have any wood pipes left, or do I need to go cut down more trees? We can also, you know, make something other than wood fucking pipes, but you know, who wants to be boring like that? I don't think we have any. Because I need to get water in that thing. Give me a second. I gotta piss. Alright. You throw me together some fucking pipes. I really don't care what they're made of. 1, 2, 3. I just need 4 pipes.
Fluid pipes.
Fluid pipes. I don't care what's in them. I don't care what material it is. You can make them out of copper if you want. I don't care. They're not going to be staying here, so we can recycle them. Probably going to be changing them over to plastic pipes once we get the plastic done anyways. I would like to get rid of these. Wood pipes and get onto plastic pipes at some point. Okay. Connect you there, you there. So now we have power in both of them. So as soon as you get our pipes made, which, speaking of, it's only 2 circuits to make the extruder if you want to make that.
Yeah, I have enough basic circuits to do that.
Okay. And you should be able to make basic circuits a whole lot easier here in just a few moments. As soon as you get me those pipes. Which I think he's stuck in his, shit, I'll make my pipes. I got it.
Working on it.
No, you ain't. That furnace has been off for 5 minutes, dude. You ain't working on your shit. I got it. You might be working on your code, but you ain't working on this. Shit, I only made 3. Make me one more. Make one more copper pipe. I thought I needed 3 and I need 4.
Oops, I accidentally put it in the wrong machine.
What did you do? Make copper wire? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. That goes there. Gives us water. So now we take our ruby. Stick that in there. We make our ruby plates. We hopefully put this in the lathe. Hoping it works in LV. It does. And we get our lens. So now, grab our fuels. Put one of those in the cutter. That gives us 16 wafers. And we put those in the laser engraver. I am doing this right? I hate fucking making circuits. Integrated logic. Integrated logic wafer. Yes. With the wafer in, it does that, and then we put that in the cutter. So it goes cutter, laser, cover. Okay. So we're just going to laser engrave all of these. So then this goes back over here, goes in the cutter, and then this will give you your wafers. Or these will give you your circuits. So now each one of these you can use to make a basic circuit board with resistors, fine wire, and phenolic boards. And you already did the phenolic boards, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just got to throw some of this up here in the assembler, and that makes the boards. Okay. So here you go. Here is your integrated circuits, which goes into the circuit assembler, which already has soldering alloy in it, so you need fine copper wire. So no more handcrafting fucking LV circuits anymore. Once we get to the central processing unit, I think you can make 4 of them. Yeah, you can make 4 at a time once we get central processing units. But those take the glowstone or naquadah and has to be an HV or higher. There is an MV. Oh, we can actually do those. Okay, we just need the other laser. Wait a minute, that says, what the fucking central processing unit wafer? Ah, there. And then that cuts into that. Okay, so why did we do the root?
You can't make the good circuits that way until you get the MV circuit assembler.
Oh yeah, we need the MV circuit assembler, which needs HV fucking circuits. That's why. Okay. I keep forgetting that the circuit assembler is circuits from one level higher. And there you go. You got 7 basic circuits done in there already. You just need more resistors. And you can make the resistors now cheaper, right? Yeah, in the regular assembler with paper, wire, and carbon dust.
That's what
You make 12
I've
of
been
them.
doing.
Okay. Alright, so that'll make that a whole lot easier. And we do have 12 actual carbon over here you can use too if you need it. I'm getting all those lasered up. I'm not gonna do all of the buells. I've got 8 of the buells in my inventory because you might need them, because remember you can do your diodes without having to use the gallium. Though you can't use the wafer. Once we get the plastic, you have to use a small gallium, which is a pain in the ass. It has to be small because we get gallium right now in tinies. We have to put those together and then break them down into smalls to do that. But you can technically use a wafer to make these, but I think the tiny gallium is probably the easier way to do it. Because we're getting that out of the bauxite we're processing. Though we only have 19 tinies right now. So we really need to get to the better diodes. Or not using diodes. Yeah, once we get, you can do this one now with more resistors to make your good, which you have been doing this recipe. The next step, yeah, it looks like you're gonna have to have the MV circuit assembler to do good circuits any cheaper. So once we get plastic and we can start making transistors, capacitors, then you can start using the CPUs and do it in here. So that's what we're going to need that MV for, or the diamond, the other laser engraver for. But now at least you don't have to handcraft your basics anymore. So no more glass fucking tubes. So the next thing, the compressor's already done. That didn't get marked off. So that's done. Cutter's done. I'm gonna mark off the laser engravers, even though we don't have both of them. So you can do the extruder whenever you want to. We need the MV conveyor, but it's not a mandatory thing right now. So I would say start on the MV chemical reactor, the distillery. That way we can start making plastic next time, which it is 10 o'clock, so we probably ought to get the fuck out of here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, at least you now have those circuits a hell of a lot easier to be made now, and I just made you a whole bunch more of the integrated logic, so I just throw them in so they'll start making you more of those LVs.
Next thing we're gonna need to do over here is just get the filter actually hooked up to, I don't have to keep answering over from the assembler.
Oh yeah, we need to do that too, but I want to get that HV, I want to get the plastic done first, because I want to rearrange all of this shit. But the HV batteries are what's keeping me from doing our rearrangement. So I want to focus on getting that done, and then as soon as we get that done, then we can work on all that other stuff that we need to do, because we've got a lot of things that need to be fixed. Clay. Alright. 3 clay left. I've ended up getting us 19. We're not running any HV battery or HV stuff. So we're not going to need a ton of these batteries. And I need 32 to make one of them. Again, unless we transform it up, which we could also do. But I'd like to get the HV battery because that'll hold us a lot more power too. But yeah, I want to get all of this broke down and put into more centralized. I want to get us a circuit area made and get an area that's just going to be for making plastic, and an area for all the rubber things, and I want to get the circuit one done so we can start automating some of this circuit process. We're not going to be able to fully automate it, but I can semi-automate it to where all we got to do is put the raw materials in for right now. Once we get processing set up and automated, then I can start doing the more full automation, so you won't even have to mess with the circuits, you just have them. But that's in due time. Alright, so I got enough lithium now. I can make us 1 HV battery. And I really only want to make one because I want to go to the crystals. I want to make energy crystals. But to make those, I need an HV autoclave. So that'll be the first HV machine we do make when we're able to make HV machines. So there's your 48 more. So you've got over a stack of integrated logic circuits in here that keep you in LV circuits for a little while. Alright, so kill the freaking power. We can get the hell out of here for the night. And we also need to make a couple more assemblers too. So, have a good one, folks. I'll see you next time.